G'day fellas and welcome to a casted game. Spawning in over on the west side of the map, it's Beastie QT. He's going to be playing a little bit of the, I was going to say the Rus, the Roman Empire, the Holy Roman Empire for us today. Incredibly exciting to see this civilization out. It is considered at the moment to be one of the less impactful civilizations. Is that the best way to say it? Look, it's not considered to be a particularly strong civilization, but this is a map, French Pass, that we're playing on where they could definitely excel. So looking forward to seeing exactly how Beastie manages it. Going up against Beastie, though, on the opposite side of the map, spawning in over on the southeast side of the map, it's going to be Kelazur. He's going to be playing the Chinese and already getting that early Imperial official out. Going to be looking to capitalize on that tax and try and get up to the second age as quickly and as efficiently as possible. We'll take a look at the map and how it has spawned. So this is French Pass. French Pass obviously has these two large passes, I guess you'd call them, or mountain ranges in the middle. A couple of passes down towards the south that you typically are going to be able to wall in. A very nice choke point actually here for Beastie if he does wish to wall this in, or if his opponent wishes to wall him in. And then towards the north, we've also got a nice, it's a little bit of a smaller choke point here. Normally there's no way through. That's some weird looking boxes right there. What is going on with that? Is that the shadows? Look, oh yeah, I think that's the shadows. It's something to do with the perspective. That is strange. Sometimes I've like joined into the game and there's been these green boxes that have been on the ground. I think once when I played with Delhi, their villages rendered in as these giant green boxes. They were like this big, all of them, and they were just like stacking on top of each other. And it's like, it said something to the, like, words to the effect of, like, failed to load in this UI element, check this log file, or like, check the error log, or something like that. I'm like, bro, that's not my job. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Now we're going to have Kelazur actually putting down a mining camp quite early. This is curious. I haven't seen this before. So typically what we actually see is players just neglecting to go a mining camp in the early game. And then just using their tax to age up. As you can see, tax does build up. So you can get a significant amount of tax rolling up on the wood line as well as on the mill. So doing the right thing here. But typically you'd see one or two IOs coming out and going to be collecting all that gold. But I think Kelazur are going for a bit more of a speedy opening. So I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what he goes for here. Whether we see professional scouts out of him, he's obviously got these deer hunts around him, or whether we potentially see a fast second town center here. This is a map that is typically going to be a map that is more boom heavy than anything. And one of the things that I will say is, genuinely, I believe that this matchup is very, very Holy Roman Empire favored. And the reason why is because everything that the Holy Roman Empire does falls into the category of China allowing them to do that. So what do I mean by that? Well, the Holy Roman Empire, they normally want to go professional scouts. Well, China normally lets them do that because, you know, typically we see this this double town center opening. 4 villages going to be going on the Barbican as well. He's really going up to the next stage quickly, isn't he? So they allow them to do that. In addition to that, obviously, they want to get up to the castle age. Well, China allows them to do that. China just wants to sit in their base. They want to go collect relics. China allows them to do that. Doesn't really contest relics, not like the Rus has with its Abbey of the Trinity or any of those other religious landmarks. So it is, it's a civilization that sort of gets to do what it wants. And then finally, when China is looking to get into its power spike, you know, that sort of mid-game palace guards, it used to be Springalds, but now I suspect it's probably going to be like Shokunuan crossbow or something like that. Well, then guess what? That's when the Holy Roman Empire hits the Imperial Age and they get a couple of knights out. Holy Roman Empire is a wonderful civilization when going up against the Chinese. I think on maps like this, where you typically have people are going to pick China, that Holy Roman Empire will just become a very good pick, simply because of just how strong it is in this matchup. So we'll take a look over at Beastie. We'll see exactly what he's up to. So going up with the Archon Chapel here, a beautiful Archon Chapel, I will say as well. Going to be covering all 3 resources, the town center with his respective sheep. He's got his villages on the wood line down towards the south, and then of course he's got his gold vein as well, which is being covered. So a super good Archon Chapel here, really nice one from him, and gonna have enough resources here now to research professional scouts. But one thing to note, he doesn't actually have a mill up, so I don't know if he's going to be looking to do that. Actually going to be walling up towards the north. Not enough villages on wood, I would say, at this point. But he could just be going for a standard age up. You can see he's only got 3 villages here. But do note there's not a lot of sheep that remain here. Now, he does have a scout over towards his enemy's base, but it's so far away. And it's only got 2 sheep following him, so he's going to need to transition over towards berries. very, very soon, you know, within the next, there they go, within the next few seconds. And so managing to do that, no stable up at this point either. So he's open at the moment to aggression. We'll take a look over at his opponent, see exactly what he is up to. So we do have that mill. We've got professional scouts coming through for him. A stable going down right at the top here. And I do like the positioning on this stable. Hides it away from Beastie. Beastie unable to spot that. You can see it's in the fog of war right there. So Beastie unaware of what his enemy is doing. But I'm sure he can suspect that there's probably going to be professional scouts coming out. Now, do note, Beastie has managed to wall himself up towards the north. That's going to make it really difficult for any scouts to come up and steal the hunts away. Now, obviously, that's still possible, especially once you get up to 7 scouts. It's going to be very easy for you to get through here. But one of the things to note with the Holy Roman Empire, you know, looking to get up to that next age, there's going to be knights out on the field. And once the knights are out, you're going to be able to deny all of that aggression very easily. So even if there's just 1 or 2 villages up towards the north here that are going to be healing up this wall, it's going to be able to keep it up. So the Holy Roman Empire in this matchup, very, very strong. And as long as there's 3 relics that are secured, and Beastie's got 1, 2 above his base, and then the 3rd one down to the south. Imagine if Beastie had spawned on the opposite side of the map. If Beastie had this spawn right here, he'd have 1 safe relic, a 2nd relic over here, and then the 3rd relic in the middle of the map. Like, you can really see how playing one of these civilizations can really make it or break it depending on your spawn. Villager probably going to be alive, managing to survive just a little bit. Hopefully he doesn't run into another scout. No scouts, at least, out of 5 HP. 5 health left for Kalazur's villager. A very brave villager going out and continuing to push past this. I think it's probably going to be coming out and walling this choke point. It seems like a really good wall. Scouts up towards the north, and you can see that there's that one scout that's just carrying away the deer carcass. So tipping off Beastie that that Kalazur is actually going to be going for professional scouts here, and this wall was a great investment, so managing to get that wall all the way in. So not going to be able to run that through. We see Kalazur with a couple of idle scouts up there, not doing enough shift clicking. Villager now, is he looking to get behind enemy lines? Is he potentially thinking about putting him towards the corner? No, he's just going to be walling. Okay, this is the correct decision, but keep in mind, from Beastie's perspective, he is still absolutely fine with this. He's going to be going up with the Regnitz Cathedral, and I suspect on this map that we will be seeing a fast Imperial out of him, so we'll have to see exactly how he manages to do it. And beautiful wall coming in from Beastie. Beastie saying, hey man, I mean, you can take the deer carcass. I don't know where you're going to go with it though, because you're going to have to run into my town center somehow. So a really nice job there from Beastie with the foresight of doing that. And we get to see a little bit of the floating deer carcass right there. Isn't she a beauty? Isn't she a beauty? This is the newest one from Harry Potter right there. A little bit of Wingardium Leviosa. As, wait, hold on, how does she say it? No, it's Wingardium Leviosa. That's Hermione right there. But now Villager actually going to be blocking it, and we see a 2nd Villager coming up. Scout going to be coming down as well. What Beastie can actually do is look to wall across here, but sometimes it can be a little bit buggy depending on what your enemy has put down. So there are times where I've seen that like you're able to wall across here and times when you can't, but as long as he's able to just sort of sit here, you can see the villagers trying their best to do it, and actually going to be able to pick off the 2nd Villager. Goes down to 1 health. And more reinforcing villagers coming in to hold the fort. Horsemen up towards the north as well, going to begin sieging. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a couple of villagers head up that way. Prelate's going to be heading out very shortly as well. And Beastie actually looking to get some defensive walls in, but probably a little bit more aggressive with regard to the fact that his opponent is going for some defensive walls himself. But now we see that horseman coming in. I don't think Beastie necessarily spotted that, but we've got men-at-arms going to be coming out here instead of those lances, which is what I thought that we would see. Or knights rather. But we'll take a look now over at Kalazur's perspective, see what he's up to. Looks like he's going just straight for a fast castle. So professional scouts into fast castle. So no double TC, no dynasty at this point. Going to be clicking up at 9 minutes. So look, I'll be honest with you guys. That's a little bit of a late click up. I think there's some build orders that you can do with the Chinese where you can click up at about 9 minutes going for 2 TC dynasty. With I don't think that's with professional scouts. I'm not sure. I'd have to double check my math on that one. Outpost going to be going down here for Kalazur as well. Horsemen coming in, going to be doing a bit of damage. Now, keep in mind, these are only early men-at-arms. Obviously, the Holy Roman Empire gets access to the men-at-arms in the 2nd Age, so that's going to mean that they are at a lower level compared to what everyone else would be getting in the 3rd Age. They do have to have that upgrade through to the next age, but now we've got up towards the north as well. A scout going to be coming out and doing a bit of damage to that palisade gate, or rather defending that palisade gate that got a little bit of damage. 3rd Age now going to be up for Kalazur as well, going up with that astronomical clock tower. Now keep in mind, this is the brand new patch, and we have got nerfed Springalds. They cost 250 wood, 250 gold. Get out of here, Springalds, you dirty I don't know what to say exactly there, you dirty little monkey. So they are more expensive, and they've been hit a number of different ways. So they're more expensive, they've got slower movement speed, they have lower damage as well. And on top of that, they get a few buffs as well. And so that primary buff being, oh, Scout going down. Nope, Scout not going. I love that they'll do like a couple pokes and then they just keep running past and like, Prelate actually going to be... What is this Prelate doing? This Prelate decided to head towards the middle of the map. So it looks like he's picked up 2 of the relics. There is a 3rd relic down here, but he realizes that he can't really come down to it, can't contest it. Could head over towards his opponent's base. Beastie has spotted out this relic towards the north of his opponent's base, and China typically isn't a civilization that is going to be going for those relics. They've got a lot of wood priorities when it comes to China, and a mosque or a monastery is really not one of them. A monastery can be quite expensive, 200 wood. Throw into account as well the fact that you're going to need to make that... they're going to need to make that monk to carry in the relic as well. And it's a bit of an investment in the early game for China. But now we managed to see that the majority of Kelazur's map has been walled in down towards the south. The north side is now open. So Horseman going to be able to begin heading in there. Beastie now actually looking pretty decent when it comes to his resources, but having a bit of a trouble with food. So it all comes back to not going professional scouts. Now going to be chasing down a lot of these deers with his spears. You're a poet and you don't even know it, Drongo. But Scout probably going to be going down here. I don't think that Scout's going to be able to get away. Yep, there she goes. Herdable sheep needs to get into the corner. Get it. You can make it, herdable sheep. Don't get herded by your enemy. But we'll see how that goes. Dynasty going to be going down for Kelazur right now as well. So really nicely positioned Dynasty. The only thing that it's really missing is this astronomical clock tower. Keep in mind it's going to double up the tax that you make from the astronomical clock tower. Spears having a very good connection here. Horsemen all going to be going down. Oh, there's one that manages to get away with 26 health, but that's enough for a villager to be able to deal with it. And slowly but steadily we can see those scouts taking away the deer of his opponent. So Kelazur making that professional scouts really count. Got plenty of food as well. 441 attacks currently sitting on that mill. So both of these lumber camp and the mill being buffed up. No one collecting tax at the moment. Has hit that dynasty, so not looking to add a second town center just yet. No stone being gathered, but look at all of these. Oh my lord, that's a lot of archery rangers. He is going absolutely ham. 4 lots of Chokunu. Does he know who he's playing against? He's playing against the Holy Roman Empire, and if there's one thing they like to do, it's build armored units. So you got to be careful, my friend. Look at all these beautiful spears, getting great shots on the apex here. I think we've got a re-wall coming in here. Indeed we do. So they're going to be stuck, and now down towards the south, we've got a battering ram, and undoubtedly that prelate is going to want to come in and be able to take out this this relic as quickly as possible. There's no upgrades on this outpost, so it's not going to be able to begin firing at him. So where's that prelate? I'm going to be looking for it. Prelate should be around very, very soon. There's no prelate nearby. Probably headed up towards the north. Yeah, there's a prelate up here towards the north. We hear it being picked up. Oh, the monk, the Kelazur has sniped that relic. Very, very nice timing right there. Managing to snipe that relic just in time. The last remaining relic. Actually, there's 2 more remaining relics, rather. But look at the massive Chokunu that now begin to move into the middle of the map. And Spears looking to protect that prelate. Prelate looking to take the sacred site. But Kelazur actually on the ball here with these Chokunu. No upgrades on it just yet. We've got double blacksmith going to be coming in for him as well. He needs to be getting in those +2 upgrades. Now, one of the things to note is that with the Chinese, you don't typically need to go for double blacksmith just because you can actually supervise the blacksmith up. So it's a little bit of a waste for the blacksmith. Obviously, China as well. They're one of the best base building civs. When I say best base building civs, I mean it's a civilization that you need to really prioritize base building with. And so space is one of those things that's so important. So putting down a second blacksmith, it's obviously quite a large building, so really important to be cognizant of that. Now, +1 going to be coming in, Steeled Arrow. We do have towards the north an outpost going to be going down for Beastie here. He's managed so far to secure two relics inside that Regnitz Cathedral. He's looking for the next relic. You can see the prelate down here towards the south going to be moving out with the battering ram. He wants to pick up this relic up here towards the middle of the map, so you see the prelate going to be heading up that way. It knows exactly where it has to go. Probably going to be shift-clicking that one back. Veteran Spears coming through, I think that is. Or it could be Veteran... yeah, I don't know which one that is. It looks like a spear to me. I'm going to go with the spear. Yeah, it's not an axe, it's a spear. So Veteran Spears coming through. A lot of Chokunu out as well. So probably going to be seeing the Veterancy upgrade coming through for Kelazur soon. We'll have a look. No upgrades just yet. +1 about to come through. A couple of Idlevilles still standing by. And now towards the middle of the map, a lot of Chokunu are going to be coming out. These men-at-arms have got 5 armor with 4 armor, 4 ranged armor. So at the moment, you see the +1 coming through. It's still going to do 1 damage a pop here, but keep in mind they've got a volley of 3. Kelazur, his units have got a 3 volley. So the way that they work, a burst of 3 attacks. So it's going to be doing at minimum 3 damage each. Combine that with the fact there's 8 of them, that's 24 damage there. So it's going to take about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shots or 7 volleys there from Kelazur to actually take those out. It looks like that relic has been snagged. Let's see if we can find it. There it is. That's the 3rd relic. So that is the 4th piece of Beastie Cutie's, what's it called? I always forget what it's called. You know, the 5, oh, not Blue Eyes White Dragon, what's it called? Oh my gosh, it always gets me. Damn it, dude. I can never remember it. Oh my god, don't make me Google it. Gosh, I'm gonna have to Google it, aren't I? It's the Exodia, 5 pieces, the Exodia. That's what I'm thinking about. So yes, he's put the pieces of the Exodia together here. So we've got the 3 relics here and the Regnitz Cathedral. That makes up the 4 pieces. The 5th piece is going to Imperial and getting that all-important Palace of Swabia. That is the 5th piece of the Exodia for the Holy Roman Empire players. So hopefully we see him look to go up to the next age. We'll do a quick stock take and see what the villager count is. Keep in mind that Kelazor is actually in a dynasty, so his town center is going to be producing faster. On top of that, he has also dropped down a 2nd town center, almost got the resources for a 3rd town center here as well. He's sitting on 57 villages at the moment. Beastie currently sitting on 48, but keep in mind, 3 relics going to be pumping out a lot of gold for him, so he's going to be very, very happy. Chokunu now getting chased away. A couple of Landsknechts getting in on the action. Sorry, Landsknecht. Getting in on the action there. Do not leave a comment. I know all you German guys are like, Drongo, here's a video of how to pronounce it. Drongo, you don't know how to pronounce it. You need to learn how to pronounce it. I know. I'm not going to say it ever again. Don't worry. I'm not going to say that word. Now, looking to actually fall back towards his base. Kelazor managing to get a decent mass of crossbows together with Chokunu here. I do like this composition from him. Battering ram going to be going down, and a really good composition here. 6 ranged attack here compared to the 2 range or the 4 range armor, going to be meaning that 6 damage coming out on each of those. Scouts looking to get in on the front line, a couple palace guards in here as well, and I love this Chinese death ball. This is really what makes me happy. These units just work so well together. They're able to shred through armored units, they're able to shred through light units, so really, really nice. Double broad axe going to be coming in for Beastie, and he does look like he's heading towards that sacred site victory, so I'd love to see him potentially stonewalling up to the north. And speaking of stonewalling, look at the gold income he's currently sitting on 1100 gold income. Very, very soon you'll see that go up to 1100 as the 2nd sacred site eventually does reach that peak. But going to be dropping down a market, so we'll have a look exactly what he looks to invest in. I would expect that he looks to go Imperial sooner rather than later. I would love to see that out of him. He's got a lot of wood sitting in the bank right now, but what is he going to be doing with that? And there's that stone wall. We just talked about it. So buying up that stone, going to be dropping down that stone wall. His enemy actually putting up a stone wall on the other side. So both players stone walling themselves up. But he's got to be careful here because we've got a crossbowman that may actually enter up onto the stone wall. It looks like he's placed the gate in the correct orientation. It's always a little bit hard to tell. Yes, it is in the correct orientation. Going to be jumping up and actually heading around. Going to be finding this villager. And look at this, a cheeky little outpost coming down. Kelazor saying, you can wall me in, but my friend, you're not going to have much success with it. Now going to be looking to save that villager's life. 18 stone he's managed to get. That is obviously compounded by the fact that he's got the extra carry capacity there. And Kelazor's mass beginning to build up. So at this point, this is where I start getting a little bit concerned for Kelazor, because this mass is a very good looking mass. It's beautiful. He's got, 35 units sitting in here, all infantry. What happens if his enemy makes 1 mangonel? He loses it all. He loses it all. So it's so important for him to at least get a couple of preemptive springalds, just in case, because that's the only thing that can really beat him, in my opinion. Now, obviously, that changes. Nesta B is actually going to fire off and get a great volley off that. That's the best Nesta B volley I've ever seen. They blew their entire loads, and now they just sit idly by because they're Nesta Bs, and that's what they do. So they don't follow their enemies at all. And up towards the north, it looks like we had a little bit of a neutralization attempting to happen, but not going to be successful. We'll switch over to Beastie's perspective, and that's exactly what we see. We see the mangonels. Springald also going to be queued up here as well. So double siege workshop. He needs to try and get these out. They are on the front line, so he's got to be careful here. I think we got the double broad axe in. Yeah, we did. We've got both of the tier upgrades, so tier 1 as well as tier 2. Mangonel here. Ideally, I'd love to have a little bit more line of sight paired with this mangonel, or maybe just keep them in the stealth forest or behind the stealth forest where his enemy can't see them, and then just bam. Mangonel shot coming out. There is that beautiful shot. Look at the damage the mangonel does. It's so much. It is the superior siege weapon compared to the Nesta Bs. Obviously not compared to the Trebuchet. Trebuchet, we absolutely love you. You are the #1 in our hearts. just not number one at the moment in this game. Trebuchet, can we talk about the Trebuchet for a second? Can we get some Trebuchet buffs? Can we get some Trebuchet buffs? Like, I think that the cost of the Trebuchet should be reduced. Take it down from 500 wood, move it to like 400 wood. I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Trebuchet is very expensive. I feel like people just ignore it. It's like, you know what? I'm just going to make rams instead. I've already got siege engineering from H2. And then some people are like, all right, well, I'm just going to go Imperial Age because I've got plenty of time to get there. So I might as well just go Imperial Age. I'll just get bombards because those are actually decent. But like Trebuchets, I don't know. They just kind of feel weak at this point. They're obviously very slow moving as well. They're terrible against units. It seems kind of fair to just, you know, buff them up a little bit. On top of that, like, it's very easy to out-heal a Trebuchet. So it's like, what, 6 or 7 villagers will out-heal a Trebuchet? So if someone, like, brings in one Trebuchet, I'm like, lol, okay. I'll just start healing up my building. And then on top of that, it's like, well, if you make a second Trebuchet, well, now you're investing, like, how many resources are we talking? A Trebuchet is 750 resources. So now you got to pump that up. That's 1,500 resources if you make 2 of them. And if you make 2 Trebuchets, that's 1,500 resources, man. Like, I don't mind. Like, you spend all your money however you like, my friend. But if you're going to spend them on Trebuchets, I'm just going to be laughing at you. That is a funny joke. So let's get some Trebuchet buffs. I would love to see that, especially in, you know, as we move towards this sort of game style where turtling is becoming more and more common, more and more prominent. Look at these forward houses coming down from Kelazor saying, you are not going to get a stonewall in here, my friend. I can stonewall, but you cannot. We've got the Sacred Site victory now looking up and actually got these stone walls coming up over the Sacred Site. So I do like this from Beastie. I'd love to see another stone wall coming up here as well, just to sort of enable him to have a little bit more leverage. But we've actually got villagers beginning to move out. One of the things to note, there's actually a little way around here as well. Kelazor looking like he might be putting down a castle here. A bit of an aggressive castle. I do like this from him. He is playing the Chinese. Units are going to have to move out here sooner rather than later. Down towards the south, we've also got Beastie looking to wall that one in. And Kelazor is having absolutely none of it. Springald's out on the front line, going to be looking to trade out with the enemy Springald's. Doing a great job there. They need to stay alive so that the siege superiority can come in, and we've got great compositions here. This is all because of that Springald change. It's so lovely to see. Take a look at those new numbers. Aren't they just gorgeous? 30 damage with a 90 damage towards other siege. So it's going to be a 2-shot on the enemy Springalds compared to a 3-shot, which is going to be needed for the Chinese Springalds. Mangonel shots comes out. Absolutely awesome shots there. Backline Nesta Bees looking pretty strong here as well. 8 range for them. Compare that to the Mangonels. Mangonels have got a range of 9, so Mangonels definitely proving that they are the superior siege weapon. Battering ram going to be coming in here, looking to do a bit of damage, but obviously there's 10 villagers inside here as well, so that battering ram is going to go down very quickly. And I love this wall coming in from Beastie, but it's just absolutely, unfortunate timing that Kelazor is going to be able to spot that out and put down that castle before he's able to get to it. But now Kelazor beginning to pull ahead in score as well. 98 villagers for him, 80 military population. Compare that to Beastie, who's sitting at 70 villager population, 58. Beastie definitely looking behind at this point in time. He's trying to hold on to these sacred sites towards the north. You can see he's got 1,100 passive gold at the moment. Compare that over to Kelazor, who actually has no villagers on gold currently, and his economy is slowly, or rapidly rather, heading downwards, but now going to be opening up on the keep. And as I mentioned earlier, if he wants to take this keep down, either option number 1, battering rams, if he's gone for that early game siege engineering, which he hasn't. Option number 2, trebuchets, but take a look how slow they are. And you're investing as many resources in the trebuchet to actually deny the castle from your enemy. The keep is 800 resources. It's 800 stone. The trebuchet is 750. Now, obviously, the trebuchet is the gift that keeps on giving. Once you manage to actually kill that keep, then you've still got your trebuchet that's left, and obviously it's going to take time to do that. But at the same time, that's going to give Beastie a huge amount of time. It's going to enable him a lot of leverage to build up more and more military. It's going to take time for you with that keep, and then he can potentially push you, potentially take out that trebuchet proactively. So it's a really, really tough position. Now, Kelazor, take a look at this. Beastie actually using the front of the stealth forest very effectively. There's only 6 trees that remain in this stealth forest, at least if I can do my math correctly. Yeah, 6 trees that make part of this stealth, maybe 7. But he's going to be able to put the outpost behind it. Going to give him line of sight. Take a look at this. 3, 2, 1. He gets line of sight of the entire battlefield down here. So he's going to be really happy. We hear that trebuchet coming off. Beautiful sounds as the rock manages to land on the keep. We're going to try and track this one. I love trying to track the trebuchet rocks. They are absolutely awesome to watch them fly. Let's see how we go. 3, 2, 1. Come on, let's do it, YouTube. Woo! Oh, all right. I think we missed it. It's going to come back down. There it goes. Sometimes you can get them perfect, sometimes you can't, but yeah, they go a little bit too high sometimes. Springwood's now going to be coming in, beautiful shots coming in, wonderful micro there from Beastie, and he outnumbers his opponent significantly, 10 Springwoods coming in. So just when you thought the Springwood meta was dead, all of a sudden we've got 10 Springwoods out, but remember, it's Springwood superiority, siege superiority, that's what Beastie's going for. So if Beastie loses his mangonels, then it doesn't even matter that he's got siege superiority, simply because he's going to have only Springwoods, which are not that effective as units, but managing to hold this position pretty effectively. A lot of Chokunu crossbows in the back line. We've got double trebuchet that are now down and managed to get taken out. The first one going to get taken out, moving underneath the castle. As we spot the majority of these units going to be trying their best to get through. Boiling oil coming out as well. And now Beastie looking pretty strong despite losing a lot of his army there. Still looking really good. The 8 Springwoods here are what are going to be carrying him. He's got trebuchets of his own now coming out, so this is great to see that trebuchets are actually getting some use here, because I was just talking about, you know, how terrible they were, and all of a sudden we've got players making 3 of them in the last 2 minutes, so really great to see. Nesta B's coming out. So one of the things I will just talk about is this concept of siege superiority. I talk about this in a couple of previous games, so something that I want to mention here while we've got a brief lull in the action. So think of, you know, back to World War II, there was this concept of air superiority. And what did that mean? That meant if you had fighters that were capable of taking out enemy bombers and your enemy couldn't contest those fighters, they then had air superiority. And you can think of Springwoods the same way you would think of fighters, because fighters kill bombers. That's the way that it works. And if your enemy's got a whole bunch of fighters, well, your bombers can't get off the ground because they're going to get shot down by fighters. And it's the exact same with Springwoods. Springwoods are the air superiority unit or the siege superiority unit. They take down all of the siege of the enemy. So that includes your bombers, aka your Nesta Bs, and that includes the anti-air, the fighters, the Springwoods. So that's the way I like to think about it. So Springwoods now really do act as that air superiority unit or that siege superiority unit. Second keep going to be coming up now as well. So we can just see, you know, he's trying to push out with these Springwoods, just doesn't have enough. So it's about these Springwoods, it's about looking to maintain, or looking to gain rather, that control, that superiority. Age 4 going to be coming through now for Beastie as well. We'll take a look where he's putting down that landmark. It is over towards the north of his base. Going to be on an effective 6 town center boom right here. 1 town center, 2 town centers, and our Palace of Swabia, which adds up to, get this, 4 town centers. That is correct. So villagers take 5 seconds to produce in here, and they only cost 12 food. Absolutely ludicrous cost there. Double castle coming in here for Kelazur as well. And at this point, you really got to start wondering, okay, maybe trebuchets are the right choice. When your enemy has got this many castles, this many keeps, double trebuchet going to be coming in. And the thing to note with trebuchets is that you can treb from a long distance, a safe distance. Whereas bombards, they've only got 10 range, 12 if you've got pyrotechnics upgrade with the Chinese. But as any other civ, you've only got 10 range on those bombards, and Springwoods, obviously, they've got 10 range, and with their roller shutter trigger upgrade, that can actually go up to 12 range. So we'll see if we've got either of those upgrades coming through. We don't. Roller shutter trigger, you can see it there, so it also reduces the reload time. So it's a really nice buff there, but you can actually see that Beastie now getting pushed a little bit here by Kelazur on the south side, managing to actually take a score lead here as well. So sitting up by about 1,300 points. Keep in mind that Beastie is in the Imperial Age, so that's going to give him that nice little score buff there. And towards the north side, this sacred site has been lost, so Beastie now looking to regain control over here. But obviously, the keep is going to take time before it does come down. We've got that reinforced defense going to be coming in here. So looking to improve the health of walls, so they should push that up. Now you can see it's at 2,100, so it used to be at 1,500, so a nice little buff there. Obviously going to be buffing up the stone walls as well, now sitting at 4,900 health. There's also an upgrade at the university that you can get, which increases it, I think it's by another 30%. We can take a look and see whether he's got a university down. Indeed he does. So university is coming down right there. Monastery also coming down, so he's got a 4th relic that he wants to put in there. He must have captured it when we weren't looking, maybe potentially capturing it from the north side. I'm not sure exactly what his plan was, or maybe he's just looking to get some Wallalols out, some prelates, potentially. But Bombard's now going to be coming out as well. No pyrotechnics for him because he is playing the Holy Roman Empire, and as you guys will know, Holy Roman Empire does not get access to pyrotechnics. It is a unique Chinese tech. And Beastie now, where is the majority of his army? It's in the middle of the map here. He is putting another keep down. So a lot of keeps, a lot of trebs out right now. And Beastie getting pushed in. Prelate coming out to say good day. Unfortunately, he said he came to the wrong neighborhood. They don't want any of your religion, unfortunately, Mr. Holy Roman Empire. So where is it? It's somewhere in here. Here, Court Architects increases the health of all buildings by 30%. So that also stacks on with that nice buff that the Holy Roman Empire get. Going to be taking out these siege workshops. Now, ideally, Beastie should probably be attacking before his enemy actually hits Imperial, because if he does hit Imperial, he's going to be able to get those roller shutter triggers, and it's really going to hurt him because he does have the siege superiority at the moment. Kelazor does towards Beastie's main base. The Bombard has come out, so he's put down a siege workshop in the middle of the map, and now going to be able to take down these keeps. He's got to be careful, though. Actually, he's able to fire over the stone walls. I think it might be because he's got the high ground. He's a little bit like Obi-Wan Kenobi right now, firing over that keep. There's no way the villagers are going to be able to sustain the health on that one. Keep going to be holding off here. Keep in mind there is the boiling oil, so he doesn't want to get underneath that. Cannon emplacement also coming out here as well for the keep. So looking to really hold on. That stone wall still sitting up here on the back line despite Kelazor really holding on for dear life. And now towards the north of the map, it looks like we've got villagers going to potentially be going down. Sacred Site getting neutralized down towards the south, and villagers going to be doing their best to come through. Kelazor at the moment sitting on 99 villagers here, but he's going to be losing a huge amount of them as more and more scouts are coming through. Now, I don't know why scouts is the weapon of choice, but towards the south of the map, we continue to see that the keep is getting sieged down. He needs to put the emergency repairs onto this. A lot of players will forget about emergency repairs as the Holy Roman Empire. I definitely am guilty of this, but do note that Kelazor has lost this northern front. It means he's going to be losing the majority of his gold income, and he's going to have to readjust villagers. Probably going to have to send out more villagers down towards the south. You can see he's already got a pretty nice amount of them down here. 13 villagers, 2.7k gold in the bank, but still sitting in that age 3. Needs to start moving over towards more farming-based technology. Still yet to grab that fertilization. So ideally, I'd love to see him just with how many villages is he on? He's on 76 villages. He lost a lot of villages up there towards the north. He needs to get more of them out. We actually see wait. This is getting healed up. I think it must be getting healed up by the tower or something. I don't know exactly. This is the unique Chinese tech, but I can't say I've ever used it. It's the one that was recently fixed or recently hot fixed, where it was healing up your opponent's stone walls or something like that. Ridiculous. But obviously it's now going to be healing up his own walls. We can see it very, very slowly. I think it's actually stopped healing at this point in time, but beautiful mass here from Beastie. Going to be able to push that north face and really split his opponent's attention. We see a second stone wall going to be coming in behind, but obviously that's only really going to serve to delay Beastie. He does have bombards in the mix here. He's got a beautiful siege composition here. Trebuchets, bombards, springles. He's literally got everything. Mangonels. The only thing is missing from this combination is a culverin. Look at the bombard's position as well. What is that bombard doing? It is literally sitting at point blank right now, and looks like Beastie might actually get his units through up towards the north here before his opponent manages to close the gap. Actually, he closes the gap right on time. You can see he manages to put down the whatchamacallit, the foundations for this last block, and instead looks to come and take up the walk towards the north, but still that does go down. And on top of that, we've also got the trebuchet, which is going to continue to take down these walls. The villager does go down. There's going to be no more walls, and now Beastie is in towards the north. We spot more houses going to be coming down for Kelazor because he did get housed up towards that northern position, and now you're going to start asking the questions, well, where's your military? And Kelazor is heading up towards the north, and this is exactly what Beastie wants, because it means Beastie's then going to have an open front to push down towards the south, and this is where Kelazor's final source of gold is, because Beastie's going to come in behind this, and already you can see he put the keep down already, so really thinking about it, probably going to be looking to put up a wall. There it is. There's the beautiful wall. So Beastie, his macro game is 100% on point. He knows what his game plan is. He's distracted his opponent. He's brought the entire army up here. He'll be very happy when he spots out all of this army. It means he is ready to go on this front down towards the south, and he's going to be able to converge with all of his siege in the middle here, as well as all of his units that are in his base already. So he's going to be really happy with this push. We'll take a look over at the upgrades that are coming in right now. So he is getting the elite army tactics. It's received a buff in the second to last patch, which has taken it from 10% up to 20%. But now we've got these 2 layers of walls. I don't know if I agree with the stone gate going up before everything else. I kind of feel like you probably just want to get these walls up as quickly as possible, Beastie. But he's going to be getting them in now, going to be walling these up. And one of the things to note is that the stone wall gate has actually got lower health than the stone walls. So this is part of the reason why I always avoid making them. Only make them when you need them, and especially don't make them on the enemy's side. It looks like he's made them on, actually, it could be on his own side. I'm not sure exactly. No, he's made it the wrong way around. His enemy's going to be able to get up over here. So you've got to be careful with that. Now Beastie going to begin pushing out. We talked about this a little bit earlier. Treb's got to be careful. Those things are slow moving, and we see that the men-at-arms are going to be running in top speed underneath the castle. They do fall back as that that hand cannon going to be firing off, and now Beastie heading in with the bombards. What upgrades do we have coming through from Kelazor? I would love to see a potential pyrotechnics. Nothing just yet. Going to be going for ancient techniques. What dynasty is he currently in? Let's do a quick check. Do we have... We know... We can definitely see that he is in, at worst, the Song dynasty. I do not see any huge amounts of line of sight here. So that's normally one of the giveaways. If there's a large circle of line of sight, there actually is a large amount of line of sight down a bit. No, I do take it back. There's an Imperial Palace. I saw this line of sight up here. I'm like, hold on, what is that in line of sight doing? So he is in the Yuan dynasty. So going to be getting those double bonuses, not yet to reach the Ming dynasty. And this is his last bastion of gold. So once this gold goes down, Kelazor is going to be in a difficult spot. So he's never really been able to stabilize. He's been having a difficult time. He's managed to sort of find a nice little rhythm, but unfortunately now, elite crossbowmen, they're going to have a tough time against the mangonels that are mixed into this army. Culverin's now going to be coming out, so he literally has the entire suite. This is the full house when it comes to siege, and now it looks like we may have the battle beginning as men-at-arms doing their best to try and defend, and all of these mangonels, or all of these cannons on the backline, going to be doing plenty of work. No bombard. That's not where you want to go, bombard. You got to get back, my friend. And this is part of the difficulty when it comes to pathing in this game. So he's probably right-clicked this, thinking it would come up here and shoot, but unfortunately, it's not going to. All of the siege, the trebuchet is going to be coming off as well. And now on towards the front line, we see those men-at-arms doing a great job. Hand cannoneers on the back line. Springald's coming in. Bombards for the Chinese player as well. He's looking to try and do his best. Springald's getting their shots out. I'm curious as to whether he's got the upgrade for them. Do we have the roller shutter triggers? We do indeed. They're going to have much faster rate of fire. And look at the elite crossbowmen together with the... Actually, there's just elite crossbowmen. There's a few Chokunu in here, but they don't even have their veterancy upgrade at this point. So not a huge unit at all that you need to be worrying about. But now these bombards slowly going to be melted down by the crossbows. Keep in mind the crossbows do 17 damage. Bombards have got 15 ranged armor, so they're only going to be doing 2 a pop. So Kelazor managing to hold on for a little bit longer. We'll take a look at the scores. So 3k difference, and the problem for Kelazor is no gold. He's sitting right now on 162 gold, and this is what this map is about. It is about securing a gold source. It's so important to secure up that gold source, and you know, you really got to hold it until the late game. And that's why civilizations like the Holy Roman Empire are extra strong on this map, because gold, it's not of a particular importance to them because of the Regnitz Cathedral. The Regnitz Cathedral is capable of giving you that supplementary gold income, and it means that in the event that you do lose gold the way that Kelazor has lost it, that you're still going to be able to get that trickle of important units coming in, whether that's mangonels, whether that's bombards. And now we see that Beastie really has the siege superiority at this point. Culverin's bombards. Culverin's going to be able to trade out with these units very effectively. Mangonels on the back line as well. Once they come in, they're going to be able to seal the deal here. I'm expecting that it's going to be absolutely terrible damage. You see the Mangonels, 2 Mangonels on the back line. A little bit of a split coming in here from Kelazor. He thinks he's playing StarCraft as the Zerg Banelings come in. Beautiful splits there, actually. Mangonel shots coming out. Looking like it gets a pretty decent amount of damage out there over on the crossbows, but it looks like it's not going to be enough as Kelazor continues to try and hold on. Beastie actually doing a pretty decent job. Going to be dropping down another castle. Hand cannoneers on the back line. Mangonels just coming in, and this is what we talk about when it comes to siege superiority. These Mangonels are able to reign supreme in this situation because of the bombards, because of the Culverin. Are going to be able to support them and prevent them from dying to any Springalds of his opponent. We see the Springald going to be coming out here, focusing down these Mangonels, but once again, the bombards are going to be able to make short work of it. On the front line, a very curious monastery going down there for Kelazor. But now look at those Mangonel shots coming in, finishing off those Chokunu. They're not having anything. Actually, it might have been archers. I don't even think he's got the gold to produce the Chokunu at this point. Mangonel's having to fall back and let the rest of the siege deal with it. And now we've got reinforcements coming in. It looks like good game has been called. Beastie QT forces his opponent to tap out. Kelazor gives it up. Fellas, this has been part of Litacor's show match series. Make sure you go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description to his YouTube as well as to both of these players. Thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one.